Hello and welcome to another lesson. Let's take a look at the JavaScript let keyword. The let keyword was introduced in years 2015. So it was in 2015 that they introduced the let keyword for variable declaration. Variable declared with let have block scope. Variables declared with let must be declared before use. So what this basically means is that you always need to declare variables with let keyword before you can use it. So if I do something like this, scanning equals Volvo, and then I come here, I say let scanning. Now, in the console.log, I want to output this scanning. You can see that even before I output it, I'm seeing this error. Cannot access scanning before initialization, which means that I cannot use this variable before I declare it. So that is what this part refers to, that variable declared with let must be declared before use. If not, they will throw an error. Variable declared with let cannot be redeclared in the same scope. So what that means is that I cannot have something like this using let. So I cannot do something like this. Name is equal to the John. And again, I'll do something like let name equals to Jade. You can see that even before I finished adding I'm already seeing a red squiggly line telling me that cannot declare block scope variable, because let keyword is blocked scope, which means that it only evaluates within that context of where it is declared. Trying to define it or calling it outside or declaring it outside will always throw an error. Then the next one says that there is also what we call global scope, which means that aside from block scope, which is limited within that context of where you are trying to use that variable, there's also global scope. Variable declared with var always have global scope, which means that if you declare any variable with var, it has a global scope. What that simply means is that it can be accessible anywhere in your code and it's not block scope. And that factor is the reason why it is not always recommended, in order not to, give the kind of output that you don't expect or look forward to in your code. Variable declared var keyword does not have block scope. So let's take a look to understand what they are saying with that. So if we say let, instead of let's change this to var. And now let's now try to redeclare the same variable. Take a look. We are saying that if I now type name inside, what are you saying? You can see that from John, it's changing to Jade, which means that because this is globally scoped and globally accessible, I can redeclare it. And you can see that if my intention is to have John as name, by redeclaring it, by allowing redeclaration, it has changed the scope of what I'm trying to use it for, which can produce error or give me the kind of result I do not look forward to in my code. So that is why it is recommended that you either use let or const to declare your variable. Now you understand the difference between block scope and global scope. Thank you. I'll see you in the next lesson.